How are you? When I was a kid, I was raised to believe that everybody was equal, that we had equal rights, um, that it didn't matter what you looked like, it didn't matter about how wealthy you were, it didn't matter about your gender. Everybody should have the same rights. That's what I was raised to believe. So when the ERA was a big thing, I was taught to be behind the ERA. And when there was a question over blacks or Native Americans or Mexicans or somebody else, I was taught that we should be supportive of them also. It didn't matter really who. That's kind of funny, not in a ha-ha way, but it's funny because, and I didn't know this until last year, but my grandfather, who was a minister, was a racist. Sadly, racism and pedophilia and stuff do not stop at the doors of churches, mosques, and temples. And he had that very, very significant flaw. I didn't really know my grandfather very well, since we lived a few states away from each other, and to my recollection, they never came to visit us. But every year or three, we would go and visit them. His wife, my grandmother, was a particularly unpleasant person, so I can't really say much about her other than that. He never raised a hand to us. He never yelled at us. He was nice to us. But my father told me that when he was young, he had a friend or friends that was a black person. And his father one day expressly forbade him from socializing with black people. And well, I guess my father dug in his heels. And he did not agree with that, because these black friends of his were very nice people that he enjoyed spending time with, and he didn't see any reason why his father should forbid him from socializing with black people. And thus, my parents were not discriminatory, or at least I saw no outward signs of discrimination. They tried to be fair and impartial. They tried to treat everybody the same. And so I do the same thing. Now, there is in all humans certain psychological and biological tendencies that challenge these enlightened attitudes of unity and diversity, which happens to be the Indonesian motto. There are biological drives that make us want to get rid of those who are different from us. There are psychological drives that push us in that direction too. But we're humans, and we have the ability to rise above such pettiness. We have the ability to rise above such animal instincts. We have the ability to be better than all the other animals, if we so choose. So you may have been raised by neo-Nazis or members of the KKK or members of the Black Panthers or some other group who had a hate philosophy or a supremacy philosophy, and you feel the same way as them. You may even have committed crimes because that you were taught that that was okay. That when you were persecuting the people you were taught to hate, that there was nothing wrong with that. Well, I'm sorry, but there is. Because we're all human. And just because somebody has a different skin color, or their nose looks different from yours, or their hair looks different than yours, or any other reason. Maybe they have 6 fingers. It should not matter. And you should be wise enough and enlightened enough to let go of the hatred that was planted in you, probably when you were young, in order to move forward and become a better human, to strive toward your human potential. Because if you don't do those things, then you're not really a human. You're living an animal life. You are controlled by your emotions, you're controlled by hate, you're controlled by anger. And you're really no different than, say, a wild dog. I wish I was a very eloquent speaker and I had the exact words necessary to motivate you, to encourage you, to wake you up. I'm not like Martin Luther King Jr., who was an amazing speechwriter and orator. I'm me. But I'm telling you now that those people who are at the top of the power structure, at the top of the wealth structure, they've got everything they need, and they keep on grasping for more, to our detriment. Not all of them, perhaps, but many of them. And if you are, and we are, divided by such petty things as skin color, then they can take advantage of us. If we are divided by things like religion and morality and things like that, if we can't find common ground and learn to compromise and agree with each other, then those people who seek to manipulate and control us will always be able to do so. They'll always take advantage of us if that is what they want to do. They will always use the media to stoke up resentment against one group or another. And I don't only speak about wealthy people. There are, and I have found them, there are organizations and people that deliberately falsify the truth, sometimes for political reasons, sometimes because they're just full of hate, sometimes because of religious reasons. There are lots of reasons. But they will lie. And they will even manipulate a situation to make it turn out the way they want it to turn out. I mean, look at what that horrible, nasty, pathetic human being J. Edgar Hoover did while he was in control of the FBI. He murdered Americans. He murdered and tortured and tormented and blackmailed and extorted and robbed using his power as the director of the FBI. He was a pathetic, weak, angry man, and he abused his powers against his fellow Americans. And it doesn't matter if they were poor white trash or if they were blacks. It doesn't matter, in fact, if they were rich or poor. The fact that he took his position as the director of the FBI and abused it to help various people, including Lyndon Johnson, who many don't realize was actually a racist. He took full advantage of what he had as the director, and he destroyed lives. He infiltrated groups and destroyed them. He forced black people into positions where they had to choose between, I'm going to kill this man and call him a traitor, instead of me being found out as being the actual traitor. Hey, you can watch movies like Mississippi Burning. You can watch Selma. It's Black Klansman. And so many others. And you can see what the FBI did that hurt America, and how the FBI was used by racists to put down black people and other groups. Now, to me, this is unacceptable. We have a constitution, but our secret agencies, our special agencies, often are given free rein to abuse the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and other laws as much as they like to, with the full protection of the law, as long as, well, sometimes, as long as they don't get caught. And this, to me, just shows you one more reason why America is a nation of hypocrisy. This has got to change. I don't care what your gender is. I don't care what your skin color is or what your ethnicity is. I don't care about any physical attribute you may have, as unpleasant as you may look as a result. It doesn't matter. You're still a human, and you deserve the same rights as everybody else. Now, if you say stuff that's crap, I'm going to call you on it, and you're not going to like it probably. But that doesn't mean I'm rescinding my support. It just means you said a load of bullshit, and I'm telling you shouldn't be saying that. So, I don't want people out there to misunderstand when I criticize, say, the Color of Change, which is an activist group for black people that has repeatedly, in my observation of their emails, distorted facts and even lied outright. So when I see something like that, I call them out and I say, hey, this is not true. Here are the facts. And some people don't want to hear that. Some people don't like that. And they then will accuse me of being a racist or something. I have lived my life being discriminated against because of my skin color, because of my religious beliefs, because of so many other factors that are trivial. I don't think it's fair that we're supposed to be the nation of freedom, and yet so many people are still being persecuted. Poor, minorities, certain religious groups, and we got a bunch of idiots out there when they see, 911, let's go out and find somebody wearing a turban. Well, dummies. Turbans are worn by a lot of different ethnic groups, and it doesn't have anything to do with Islam. Yes, there are certainly Muslims who wear turbans, but it's not about the religion. It's an ethnic thing. And then there are these dummies. The SARS-2 virus started in China, so let's go around killing Asians. Well, first of all, just because it started in China along with swine flu and a few other diseases like bird flu doesn't mean that all Asians or even all Chinese deserve to be persecuted, killed, beaten. That's wrong, and you're an idiot. You do stuff like that, and you just show why America is not great. You just show why we do not deserve to be lauded and praised by other countries. You are an example of why other countries and other groups of people hate America. You make us look bad because you are doing horrible things. Stop it. Grow up. Let that hate out of your heart, or you're going to take down not just your own life, but the lives of many others. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.